BT and Sal, the DJ, is hitting the shore to jumpstart the summer. I sit here today, Sal, and Don't you dare. Two things are pretty clear as I sit here on this gorgeous, gorgeous sun-drenched Friday. The Yankees can win the World Series, and the Mets cannot.
You have to start already, right out of the gate. It's been a beautiful day. We're here on the beach. I mean, everybody's hanging out. You got to rip the Mets here? Let's talk about the Yankees.
I don't know that I ripped them. I just made a general observation. I mean, listen, we get to Memorial Day. We always do say, because, listen, the Judge stuff, and anytime somebody starts slow, the Lindor stuff, that's April. That's early May. That's middle of May. All right, now we are on the precipice of what matters. When we get back to the studio, basically next week, it is June.
Right.
And, listen, all Yankee and Met ribbon aside, this Yankees team is loaded, dude. Luis Gil, I was thinking about this on the right, and I don't know, because you look at the great Yankee pitchers, going back to Gedry and obviously Roger and all the imports and obviously CC Sabathia. I don't know, Garrett Cole, I don't know that I've ever seen a Yankee come up with this stuff. I think Luis Gil might be the best pitcher in baseball.
He's been their ace. He's been an ace. This is more than just, wow, look at the rookie. He's going out there doing a good job, filling the spot left by Garrett Cole when he got injured. It's more than that, BT. If you actually look at it, and by the way, he's the one who beat the Orioles, right? He dominated them.
Yeah.
He did it again yesterday against an ace in Luis Castillo. Gil was better. So he has been everything that the Yankees get us. Maybe you want, all right, less walks, more length in these games, but now we're nitpicking. Luis Gil has not only been good, he has been an ace for the New York Yankees. And when you start to think about postseason, Cole and Gil together, 1-2 punch, that could be nasty. Look, the Yankees have one thing left to do, and that is win this division, beat the Baltimore Orioles. Everything else checked all the boxes. Soto, Judge, Verdugo has been here, Stroman, Gil. How are they going to overcome Garrett Cole? They have done everything, and they are well on their way to a postseason, and hopefully in the postseason they can do damage. You mentioned it with the Mets. I mean, by Memorial Day. See, and that's why it is a great barometer, right? We say, it's early April, or it's only early May or mid-May. You start to really get what a team is or what players are by June 1st.
No question.
And that's where we are. And if you're hitting 200 like Francisco Lindor, you're struggling like Pete Alonso, or you're going the wrong way. I think the Mets have won, 10 of the last 29 games, something like that. Yeah, it's they are who they are. There is no more, maybe they could go on a run. You find out in baseball, you really start to pay attention things once Memorial Day hits. That's where we're at right now, and it could not be polar opposite.
So we've got a new phone number, Sal. I'm about to say it for the first time. 1-888-808-1019. BT and Sal, Brandon Tierney, Sal Licata. We're down at DJ's Belmar. This is Sal's first time. What do you think so far, by the way,
I think
Sal?
it's great, actually.
Awesome?
Yeah, it was really cool even just driving up. I'm like, oh, wow, I'm not really familiar with the Jersey Shore. Although, last night on the way down, I felt like you could just smell Snooki. Driving, it smelled awful coming down here.
Whoa, Sal, boy.
On the ride down, I'm just telling you.
Sal,
whoa. You're denying that smell?
I am denying that.
Oh,
by the way,
no.
you live in Jersey now. You better get used to it. We're not in the friendly confines of our studio. There's people out here, buddy. You start dropping stuff like that, we might have some problems at that point. I don't know if I have you back.
For the record, I love Snooki. I'm just saying that there was a smell down. No, but it is beautiful out here, obviously, and a perfect day.
It's gorgeous. 888-808-1019. BT and Sal inside of our Town Fair Tire studio. Friends at Town Fair remind you that you always get the guarantee lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. God, if we only just still had our Knicks going. Could you imagine? I know we got the Rangers tonight. It's a massive game. We'll get to that later. But in general, as we started with the Yankees and the Mets here, Yankees obviously on a trajectory to do big things this year. The Mets, it is what it is. The Rangers, got to bounce back tonight. But the Rangers have as good a chance as anybody to get to the Cup and win it. The Knicks just gave us a 6th season. Aaron Rodgers, I know it's OTAs. He looks healthy. I'm falling for the Aaron Rodgers trap again. Of course I am. And most of the New York sports scene right now is pretty vibrant. It's pretty vibrant.
I think the Rangers obviously are front and center. Tonight they have to get a win. If they lose, this will be the first time all postseason, really all year long, where I start to have some doubts. I don't think they're going to win the series if they get down 0-2. But I think the Yankees now have picked up, the Knicks passed the baton. They did a nice job, passed the baton to the Yankees here. Knicks couldn't realistically win a championship this year after all the injuries, and it's going to be a big offseason. Rangers can realistically win a Stanley Cup, and the Yankees can be, I don't know what the odds are exactly, but I
haven't checked the odds on the Yankees to win the World Series.
Yeah, there's certainly one of the teams teams that can win a World Series. So you're right. And the excitement of Aaron Rodgers and Jets camp and the OTAs and all that stuff, which is not too far away. You don't want to rush the summer away.
No. We just started the summer, Sal. Just getting going, buddy.
But I think, BT, it's just about the Yankees. Think about where we were a year ago. Or even, more recently than that, talking about Cashman needs to be fired and this team's a train wreck, and me saying I think they're going in the wrong direction. Couple of moves, brilliant moves, big moves, but a couple of moves in the offseason, and the Yankees all of a sudden looking like the vintage New York Yankees.
Well, what I like about this Yankee setup now, and I mentioned this yesterday, I didn't go too into detail, but it's very good for the future. Like you look at, I don't always want to bring it back in the day, but you look at those championship teams and the core was amazing, and you knew what you had. You had Tino, you had Jeets, you had Mariano, you had Pettit, you had Bernie, you had O'Neill, you had Posada. We all know the names, right? But there were very few younger players that were, introduced and injected into that had a lot of fingerprints on their success. I look at this current Yankee team, and you obviously see a couple of Hall of Famers in the middle of their prime, Judge, Soto, Garrett Cole. And then now this still needs to be proven out here. But then you see somebody like, obviously, Volpe, who's already shown he's certainly a highly above-average player. But now that down the pipeline, just imagine if what Jason Dominguez flashed for 8 or 9 games a year ago is kind of real. Imagine if Spencer Jones is really this 6'6" freak who can run and hit. It's a really, really, really good team now. And the Yankees, I'm not talking about dynasty, but the Yankees have a chance to be championship viable for a long time.
Yeah.
Rather than piecing it together, get this guy, scrape this dude in, here's a Band-Aid, let's hope this works. Yankees are pretty loaded right now.
But a lot could go wrong. A lot could happen over the course of the next 6 months to a year. Right now, I'd be focused on this team can win a championship now. Now, I'm not disagreeing that they're loaded and you have some potential in some of these younger guys coming up and making this thing sustainable. But for right now, BT, the Yankees are amongst the best teams in baseball. And you look at Judge and Soto. You want to talk about being spoiled in New York. I was saying earlier in the year with Volpe, Judge, Soto, that those are the best 3 in baseball. Obviously, the Dodgers would argue that. Betts and Freeman and Ohtani. I'd still take Judge and Soto, though, over anybody. This is the best tandem in baseball. You see what Aaron Judge, he looks totally different here over the course of the last several weeks, and the Yankees look like they're unstoppable. So I'm not even worried about Spencer Jones or Dominguez even coming back, which is going to be a good problem to have. I'm worried about right now, this team right now clicking on all cylinders, and they look like they can't be stopped.
All right, BT and Sal down here on the beach. Great job by Boomer and Gio doing their thing this morning. We're here all day as we kick off the summer. Of course, WFAN now a staple of DJs, which treats us tremendously. 888-808-1019. Yeah, you've got to. I got to get used to the new number. You guys need to get used to the new number as well. So 888-808-1019. Joe is in Marlboro. Joe, BT and Sal, what's going on, Joe?
Hey, what's going on, boys? First-time callers.
All right, Joe, what's going on?
Nothing much. I just want to say, go Yankees. Let's go DJs. I'll be there later. Let's keep the energy going.
No, that's it. Listen, so Joe's just setting the scene there. Just a little quick check-in there. All right. How many people, Sal? It is what? 10, 12. I'm going to play to the crowd for a second. Almost everybody's got a drink in their hands for the most part. So, is anybody actually drunk yet? Not like this guy with the Knicks jersey. He's still, this guy with the Yankee hat says a little bit. Can you imagine? Think about this, Sal. We have kids. We have responsibilities. Can you imagine being – dude, if I was 25 years old, I would have been here 5 this morning. I would have been out all day.
I think it's great,
I don't even know how I would have gotten home.
People get off of work yesterday knowing that they're coming to celebrate, hang out down the shore all weekend, Memorial Day weekend, have a drink in your hand, whatever that may be, and enjoy it. Yeah, this is beautiful.
This is the best. So is the mulch purchase, is the mulch out?
No mulch this year. What
do you mean no mulch this year?
No.
Why?
No. Just bought the new house, so we're getting settled in there. I don't want the new mulch.
Okay. So the pool's all set.
Pool's all set.
Have you gone in yet?
No. As a matter of fact, I wanted to be the first to go in. I did all the work. I'm the one who opened the thing. I cleaned the whole thing up. Guess who's going in first? My wife and her friend.
Well, that's not entirely true because the picture that I saw, you weren't doing the work on the putt. That was your brother-in-law.
Well, my brother-in-law.
Well, so he should be. This is what I mean with this guy.
That's
You got to go beneath the surface. You know, I listen to everything. It was your brother-in-law, so he should get the first cannonball.
I've been cleaning it up.
The skimmer. Oh, really? Getting those hands dirty. Sal, so we juggle these Yanks and these Mets, and Eddie, I'm looking at. I'm seeing Met jerseys, LF, GM. I'm seeing Met hats, and Met fans are amazing. We have our little bit of fun. You guys are awesome. You deserve better. But I mean, in all sincerity, is it 100% over? Is there any? That's it.
Yeah, here's the big question for the Mets, and I was talking about this yesterday on Baseball Night in New York on SNYBT, and we talked about this too. The number one question is going to be what they are going to do at the trade deadline. We know where the Yankees are at. They're going to add, they're going to tweak, they're going to build a team that could go in a World Series. Are the Mets going to be foolish enough, if they somehow go on a run over the course of the next couple of weeks, to maybe creep closer to 500? Are they going to be foolish enough to believe in this team, to add to it, rather than blow the whole thing up and just move on?
Well, they should blow it up, but the owner the other day said they're a playoff team, which is the genesis of my comments from 2 days ago. Yeah, I caught a lot of heat for that, where I said Steve Cohen's the problem. Yeah. That's not personal. I know he's got a ton of money, but, Steve Cohen was the one who said, let's get Lindor, which, by the way, I agree with at that point. But then he bestowed this ridiculous contract on him. He didn't know that the contractual landscape would change the way it did, but that's a bad move. The McNeil contract, not a good move. Even the Marte contract, the Verlander and Scherzer experiment,
It should be the beginning, though. This should be the beginning, because you have a new president of baseball operations.
I hope
this
he's good.
This is year one. Well,
I hope he's great for the Mets.
Well, look what he did with this team. He didn't sign any bad contracts. They didn't go chase anybody in free agency outside of Yamamoto, who they missed out on. And they said, Yamamoto. They said smartly, they said, if we can't get him, we're not going after anybody else. Some people debated that. You and I had that debate. Like, I didn't want Bellinger. I didn't want Blake Snell. That would be foolish. Imagine had the Mets done that now. In hindsight, it would have been awful.
The Yankees offered Blake Snell a deal, like 6 years, 100. Imagine he would have taken it with the Yankees.
Right, but at least the Yankees could argue.
They dodged a bucket there.
At least they could argue that they're going for it now. The Mets could not. They're trying to patchwork it together. So no bad contracts. They should trade anything that has value at the deadline, blow it up, and then go hard after it in free agency. And really, with that, it's just about Juan Soto.
Let's get back. We're gonna have to have a good-spirited Yankee Met Juan Soto discussion so everybody can see it.
What's
today.
there to debate?
Well,
He's going to be a Met.
Yeah, okay. 888. And he actually thinks Soto's going to the Mets. I feel sorry for the guy. Yeah. He actually thinks that this is going to happen.
I will say
this. And so do some Met fans. Oh God, you guys need help.
I will say this: if Soto does not,
the Mets.
If Soto doesn't end up with the Mets,
out of here.
It's going to get ugly.
888-808-1019. Juan's up in Rockland County. BT and Sound on the Fan. What's going on, Juan?
This is my first time on. I originate from the Bronx.
Yeah, stand up, Bronx, the home of Juan Soto. Yes.
Listen, Juan Soto, gotta keep him. I don't know what they're gonna do, but they have to keep this guy. Another thing
I don't think that they do, Juan. We've talked about that.
Juan, hold on a sec.
Yeah, I get that you want to keep him. I think the Yankees are in such a good spot, BT. They don't have to keep him. You want him. Mm-hmm. They don't have to keep Juan Soto.
I don't totally disagree with that, but I don't even want to entertain that. I actually think there's a road to that and still be outstanding. But he's going to be here. Juan, finish up, bud. Go ahead.
Listen.
Yes.
I guarantee you this year is going to be an outstanding year for the Yankees, man. I feel it. For some reason or another, I feel it this year is going to be an outstanding year. I think we're going to take it off.
Yeah, well, listen, Juan, that's a thought that thanks for the call there, buddy. That's a thought that every Yankee fan should have right now. That's why when I started the show, and I mean this, like when I sat on the stage back in 2022, even though the Yankees went to the playoffs and they won barely, beat the Guardians, were atrocious offensively, like a 620 OPS, lifeless and limp against the Astros, swept. So they were among the Final Four, but they were nowhere near a championship, and you guys know what I mean. But I sat here on the stage 2022, I said to Teak, this doesn't look, it doesn't feel, it doesn't smell like a World Series team. Last year, I absolutely thought they had this even before Judge got hurt, right about now, early June out in L.A. with those idiotic Dodgers and that stupid antiquated fence. And I didn't think, even when Judge was being a superhero, I said, no, this is not a World Series team. This team, it's a long year. There's a lot of bridges and obstacles to cross. What does Garrett Cole look like? Does DJ contribute anything? Does Judge truly stay healthy? What happens the first time Soto goes in a long funk? He will. Can Rizzo hold up? What does Torres do? What about the catchers? What about Clay Holmes, who I really like, you like but don't love, which I get.
Well, just don't trust him 100%.
I agree. I agree with that. That's fair. There's a lot of things that we don't know, but the answers are far more prevalent than the questions for the Yankees. They don't have many questions right now.
I'm with you on the 2022 team where, you looked at that team. I never believed that they were as good as the way that they were playing, and people started comparing them to the 98 Yankees. I don't know how you could watch this team and not think World Series or bust. I mean, this has got to be it. Now, it doesn't mean that it's going to happen. Obviously, it's very difficult, but anything short, at the very least, of a World Series appearance, which, again, hasn't happened since 2009, that would be a failure. And really, this team is built to win a World Series. Right now, everything looks great, BT.
Yep.
And maybe the Yankees do go out there and get to and win a World Series. You could also paint the picture of saying they fall short, whether it's in the World Series, whether it's prior to that, and then they lose Juan Soto, and now you're back to being annoyed if you're a Yankee fan.
It's nice to have some expectations again.
Yeah, right.
I mean, honestly, it's really nice. It's nice to, look at this Yankees and want to watch them. They were so utterly boring for years, and they were infuriating because they were running guys out there that you knew shouldn't be in the pinstripes, whether it's Gallo, whether it's Hicks, and this reluctance to get rid of them based on the money, which was a different conversation. Brian Cashman caught a lot of deserved heat, and I was bringing it as hard and as fast and as frequently as anybody. But if you're objective and if you're honest about this, Brian Cashman had an outstanding offseason. He's pivoted. And now the Yankees have a shot. And really, that's all you ask for. 888-808-1019, BT and Sal, Brandon's here, the Sal Licata Show. We are down at the shore, DJs and Belmar, as we get ready to, we already have kicked off the summer here, so we're just getting going. Boomer and Gio before us, Evan and Tiki later on, the whole day, all WFAN.